Hi, Angie here. Diane sent in a question for Judah. The question is, when we die, does it matter whether we are cremated or buried? So let's ask Judah about this. Hello, dear Diane and others. Welcome back. And yes, we would be happy to answer this question for you. There are some distinct differences in cremation and burial, and we will give you some guidance that may help you to make a decision, for the decision is yours, my dear. It is a matter of your preference. And so in both cases, both creation and burial, both bodies will eventually be turned back to ash, to dust, as the scripture says from the Hebraic and Christian tradition. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes, a common phrase heard at burial services. So the question is, do you want that to happen sooner or later? Sooner or later. So in Christian burial, bodies were not burned because there is a reference in scripture that says there will be a resurrection of the body. And so Christians misinterpreted this to be that the body would at some point rise up from the ground, from the grave, to be reunited with the soul. And there was also a reference, and indeed it was a truth, that when Christ died, some dead people actually arose from the grave in their formerly dead bodies and walked about. Because the resurrection power existing in the moment of Christ's sacrifice, the resurrection power was so ominous, so large, so unimaginable that it actually resurrected or put life back into formerly dead bodies. You can believe this or not, we will leave it to you. So back to the question at hand. So Christians believed in burial because they believe that the body will be resurrected. We will tell you that there will be an ascension process in which human souls inhabit a glorious white light angelic body. And that is the future to which this scripture was pointing, not a revitalizing of dead bodies in the ground. So that may help you in your decision. Now, the Hindu tradition heavily favors cremation. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One is that it helps the loved ones to release their attachment to their loved one as they watch the body burn. And this was not a private cremation in a facility, but a public and joyful celebration. And so watching the body of their loved one burn allowed them to grieve fully and release the childish notion that somehow the loved one lives on, which can be a common and difficult, painful part of the grieving process, to have these sorts of delusionary thoughts. And the second reason that they burn the body is to help the soul of the departed to relinquish their attachments to their body. You see, when you die, there is great bliss and joy. There is also a difficulty at times in transitioning away from inhabiting a physical body. You see, your physical body has been, is, and will be, until the day you die, your very best friend. It is your ultimate supporter. always there for you. Even when it is sick, it is still working very hard to support your soul. And so when the body is burned, it can help the soul to relinquish its bond with the body and move on more successfully to the next adventure. And this is also part of the Hindu tradition, understanding reincarnation. And so the burning of the body facilitates a smoother transition on to the next thing, the next adventure of the soul. So here are some things we would ask you to consider as you make your decision. Let's simplify it here. One way or another, burial or cremation, you will end up as dust. That is the truth. You can spare some land and some expense, the precious land of this earth by cremation, if you so wish. And you may facilitate an ease of transition for yourself, for your own soul, and perhaps ease some of the grief of your loved ones through cremation. And we hope that helps you in your decision making.